Okay, let's look at the relationship of alternative. The symbol for alternative is an A, and each proposition, the definition of alternative, each proposition expresses a different possibility arising from a situation. Each proposition expresses a different possibility arising from a situation. Some of the key words that you're going to see, and you can see them there on your cheat sheet, words like or, words like but, words like while, or on the other hand, and you might come across other examples as well. We're going to put the symbol for alternative when we label our diagram. We're going to place this, because it's a coordinate relationship, between the arcs that are set as alternatives to each other, and then we're going to draw one arc over the top of both of the propositions to say that these two propositions are set in an alternative relationship to each other. Okay, so let's look at an example of that together. Here I have Genesis chapter 14, verse 4. 12 years they had served Chedorlaomer, but in the 13th year they rebelled. Okay, 12 years they had served Chedorlaomer, but in the 13th year they rebelled. If you remember the warfare, the city-state warfare going on in Genesis chapter 14, this is what's being described there. Now, we have, when we want to set this in its propositions and begin to define those, we see that we have a verbal affirmation here. 12 years they had served Chedorlaomer. That's one verbal affirmation, one proposition. And then we have a second one, and it's already neatly written out for us. But in the 13th year they rebelled. So we have another verbal assertion here, another proposition. And in looking for a key word that's going to help us to determine the relationship, we have the word but right here. 12 years they had served Chedorlaomer, but in the 13th year they rebelled. So that points us toward the relationship of alternative. So let's define our propositions. I'm just going to use this diagram, or this the way it's written, because it's already set in two propositions. So we're going to label verse 4, A and B, draw a line and two arcs because we have two propositions. And we're going to see that 12 years they had served, but is the alternative. In the 13th year they rebelled. So we're going to label this between the arcs. We'll draw one arc over the top to say that this is a relationship of alternative.